Welcome back, lottery fans. Today I'm going to run through the top 3 pick 3 rundowns that have been working for me so far in February. And these have been working across multiple different states, so that's why you can use these in multiple different states. For the purpose of these rundowns, just for this video, I'm going to do it just in 3 states, but you can certainly use these in multiple states. As I said, these have been tracking across multiple states for me. So we're going to go ahead and start off with doing our rundown for the Michigan lottery in our first one, and then we'll move on to the Pennsylvania lottery, and we'll do one finally for the Dominica lottery. So let's start with the Michigan evening lottery, and we're going to start with our base number being in last night's the evening lottery, which was the 15th of February. And as mentioned, we only need one number for this, so we're going to ignore 2 and 3 this time. And Michigan's evening lottery last night for the pick 3 was 261. It's a fairly simple rundown. We're going to fill in our base grid, and then we're going to use mirror numbers to go ahead and fill in a translated grid. As always, if you want a copy of this rundown sheet that has the mirror numbers and the flip numbers down below on the bottom here, you can go ahead and click on the links down below in the description and download this completely for free from lotterypredictor.com. So in the base grid, we're going to take this base number, and rather than going and doing our normal top left to bottom right, we're going to do a little bit different here. We're going to actually start in the bottom left this time, fill in the 2 there, then move into the center spot and fill in the 6 there, and then finally move down into the bottom right and fill in the 1 there. So that's the pattern we're going to use for our starting number this time, and then we're going to count in a reverse fashion around filling up these empty spots. We're going to go 2, 1, 0, 9, 8, 7, 6. Simple as that. Now that we have the base grid, we can use our mirror numbers down below. We can go ahead and translate this base grid over into the translated grid. We do this by taking each number in order, looking up the mirror number for it, and putting it in exactly corresponding spot on the translated grid. So we'll start with 0. If we look on this chart here, the mirror number of 0 is a 5, so we'll put a 5 in there. Onto the 9, mirror number of 9 is 4, and lastly 8 is 3, so fill in the 3 there. Then the same again for all the other numbers. The mirror number of 1 is 6, mirror number of 6 is 1, mirror number of 7 is 2, mirror number of 2 is 7, 6 is 1, and 1 is 6. So there we go. So now that we've got the base grid and the translated grid filled out, we can go ahead and follow our patterns. And for this rundown, I've actually been using the horizontal lines this time. These are the ones that I've been tracking. These are the ones that have been hidden. Normally, if anyone else has followed on my other videos, you'll notice I do the crosses and the downs. And this one is actually using the cross patterns exclusively. So for the base grid, that gives me a 0, 9, 8 and a 1, 6, 7 and a 2, 6, 1. And same again in our translated grid. Go ahead and we'll track the across patterns here, the horizontal patterns, which gives me a 5, 4, 3, a 6, 1, 2, and a 7, 1, 6. Simple as that. So you can go ahead and you can use these in the Michigan lottery if you're in Michigan. If you're in a different state, go ahead and try this rundown in your state. Hopefully this will work for you in your state. Moving on to our next rundown, we're going to do this one for the Pennsylvania. This is the 2nd out of 3 that I've been tracking this month that have been doing pretty well. As I said, this is for the Pennsylvania, and once again we're using the evening lottery here, and we're going to use last night's lottery for Pennsylvania. We're actually going to use 2 results, so we need to go back and find 2 results. And now the way in which you find these results is fairly interesting. This is a little bit more complex than we've done in some of the other rundowns, but we start with our base number, which is the evening result from the 15th of February, and that was a 4, 5, 3. And then to find the second number, you actually have to go through and start taking a look back at the historical results for the month. And typically I'll find I'll go back about 3 or 4 numbers, maybe even have to go back more than that. But what we're looking for is a number, the most recent number drawn, that has the same middle number here. So we're looking back every single day to find which number drawn also has a 5. So we had a 5 in the middle on the 15th, and I started going back through the Pennsylvania lottery, and on the 12th, the 12th of February was when I found the next one drawn, which was an 854. So now that we've gone ahead and got our two numbers here, we can start filling them in the base grid. And we use the same standard pattern we'll use for the first one, which is going from top left to bottom right. So put a 4, 5, and a 3 in there, and then we'll take the second one and we'll fill it in on the mirror side here, on the flip. I say mirror and flip, on the opposite side here, which is 8, 5, and 4. And now you see why having that middle number is the same is so important, because you're overlapping on the middle number on the grid here. Once we've got that, we can go ahead and fill in a clockwise direction, starting on the top line here, counting up. So we'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then for this pattern, for this rundown, we're going to go ahead and use our flip numbers to move to the translated grid here. So the flip numbers are down here, and we're going to go ahead and, much like we did with the last one for the Michigan lottery, we'll take the top left and move it over into the translated grid, top left with what the flip number is. So we look on the grid here, the flip number of 4 is 7, so put a 7 in here. Flip number of 5 is 8, put an 8 there, and flip number of 8 is 1. And continuing on here, 8 is 1, 5 is 8, 6 is 9, 4 is 7, 7 is 0, and 3 is 6. Simple as that. On this one, I actually been tracking the same patterns that I normally track, so I'll track top left to bottom right, and once again there. So I'll actually end up playing, hoping for the repeats of those numbers, because those will actually go again, and then the down. So I'll be looking for a repeat of 4, 5, and 3, and a repeat of 8, 5, and 4, and then 5, 5, and 7 here. So definitely 5 is a very hot number out of this, because we're seeing it as our crossover number, and we're seeing it as double coming over in this one here. And then on the translated grid, same pattern, top left to bottom right, top right to bottom left. After a quick edit, because my camera cut out, the straight down as well. So that gives us a 786 here, a 187, and an 880. So those are 6 numbers that we can start playing in the Pennsylvania evening lottery. Go ahead and try it in your state as well. Let me know if it's working. And finally, let's move on to the last rundown. And this is going to be a rundown for the Dominica. Dominica is an island in the Eastern Caribbean, not to be mistaken with the Dominican Republic. And I love getting requests for other countries, and especially smaller countries like Dominica, because it gives me a chance to go ahead and research their lottery and find out about the country. That's the kind of stuff I just love to do. So this is going to be a pick 3 rundown for Dominica. And as I said, we're just doing the rundown as an example for Dominica. You can go ahead and do these in your state or your country. This will work for any state or country that is actually having a pick 3 lottery. So we're going to actually start the same date. We're going to start with the 15th, which was yesterday, and we're going to use all 3 results, the past 3 results. So we're going to take the one from the 15th, which was 3, 4, 4 in the evening lottery in Dominica. And then on the 14th, Dominica had 4, 4, and 1. And then on the 13th, it was 9, 3, 5. And we're going to go ahead and fill in our base grid with our standard pattern this time. So we're going to go ahead and fill in the top line with the latest result, second line with the second latest result, and our third result with our third latest result. So that leaves us a 3, 4, 4 there, and a 4, 4, 1 there, and a 9, 3, 5 there. And then we're going to use flip numbers to go ahead and translate our base grid into our translated grid. And then the flip numbers, we've got a 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 4, and a 2, 6, 8. So as you can see, 4 is very prominent right now in the Dominica, so that's definitely one you want to watch for, as well as number 7. They're definitely very hot numbers coming out in our rundown here. And now, unlike the regular rundown, we're not going to go with our standard patterns. I've been tracking the vertical straight downs, and those are the ones that seem to be working pretty well. So in our base grid, that gives us a 3, 4, 9, and a 4, 4, 3, and a 4, 1, 5. And as you can see, that middle number there, 4, 4, 3, is the third double of a 4 that we'll have in several days, because we had a double over 4 here and a double over 4 here. So definitely one to look for there in Dominica. And then on our translated grid, same again, verticals down, which gives us a 6, 7, 2, 7, 7, 6, and a 7, 4, 8. So there we go. There are 6 numbers that you can start playing if you're in Dominica. Go ahead and please play them. Let me know if they win for you. I'd love to hear from you guys. And that's it. Those are the 3 hot pick 3 rundowns that I've been tracking for February. As I said, they're working in all states, so please go ahead and let me know how they're working for your states if you try these out. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want me to try and do a rundown for your state, leave me a comment down below. And please subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.